Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday. Yeah, I got the day right. June 27th, 2022. Why am I doing this? Because I got the date wrong yesterday. I realized it after I put out my video, my markets a look ahead. All right, look, all well and good. Let us focus on the current situation. Let's start off with this. So apparently, maybe it's debatable whether there's been some kind of a Russian debt default. Look, I personally don't even care if there is or not. I know a lot of people, a lot of YouTube channels were pushing this months back as if it was going to be some kind of black swan and it was going to melt down the debt market and this whole thing was just going to go up in flames. I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. The debt market right now is under full control, by the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve. And if something were to happen, it already did. I mean, we actually started to see a meltdown here in the debt market, spiking 10-year yield, emergency monetary policy by the ECB, Federal Reserve, managing the yield curve now. This is quantitative easing on steroids, and this is working. It's pushing cash back into the stock market just as it's meant to do. Imagine my surprise here. I can only imagine yours. Okay, so what we have here clearly, central banks managing the yield curve, pumping untold amounts of cash back again into the debt market. This Federal Reserve repo program that has gone absolutely ballistic, and I mean that in the literal sense. Go, to a search engine and look up a chart. I showed you a chart of this recently. It's a freaking hockey stick. Okay, you know what's behind this. They're trying to fake the illusion of liquidity here in the market. We have an illiquid financial system. We all know that, henceforth why you got all of these actions going on, and we're going to get a credit freeze. It's just a matter of time before the entire system locks up. And let me let you understand a little secret here. That's what's going to happen because it's being done by design here, inflating the largest bubble there's ever existed in the history of God's universe and everything else. It's completely out of control. Okay, with that all aside here, Russian debt default, yes, no, maybe, whatever. I personally don't care. What you and I are going to keep our eyes on yet again, people, is that 10-year yield. Right now, the 10-year yield is up about 7 basis points. That's a pretty big move pre-market. So what we need, look, I already explained this. There's a couple of things I've explained. Going back months ago, I said that based upon the action of the Federal Reserve at that time, things have changed a little bit. The sweet spot for the 10-year yield was about 3.25. Okay, right now we're at 3.2 last time I looked this morning. Okay, lovely, fantastic here. And with what's happening here, with the Fed getting in here, buying all the debt, yet again, Fed's balance sheet inflating, not deflating. All right, let's see how this goes. The mechanism in place is pretty obvious. It's meant to push cash back into the stock market, and it has certainly worked. I mean, when we witnessed that 10-year yield, bang, 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 the market started to melt down. The stock market literally started to melt down. And then we got this emergency action by the ECB, this action by the Federal Reserve. It's unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this before. Okay. And then we see the current situation. We need to just watch it. All right. Does it mean everything is fine? We can all just jump back here into the market? I mean, short term, absolutely. Let's look at the market. But does that mean we should jump in here with both feet? I don't know about you. Okay, but I intend to sit back a little bit more and watch the entire thing. Let's see, or at least what I'm going to do, is watch how it plays out probably over the next few weeks. If everything really does stabilize, probably a time to maybe jump back in here, but not yet. And understand this too. what the Fed is doing, what the ECB is doing, it's massively over the top inflationary. And everyone knows it, all right? Except obviously a brain dead, frankly retarded politicians, especially retard number one, the commander in retard number one. I'm talking about Biden. I know a lot of you don't like when I talk bad about this guy. Well, I tell you something, it's too damn bad. You don't like it, start your own YouTube blog. I'll say what I want out here. All right, look, with that said, let's move over to the stock market. So stock futures are slightly higher right now. 10-year yield, as I alluded to, 3.2. Dollar slightly weaker. Crude oil getting a bid. The setup for the market's not too bad. You got Bitcoin around 21,000 still, not doing much. You got silver, which is fractionally, gold, fractionally higher. Silver up by about over 1%. That's the opening bell. That's what's going to happen. Well, we got 34 minutes before the opening bell. Anything could change, especially with stock futures, which are all over the freaking place, a freak show. I think you all know that. So in summary, right here, with regard, because I know a lot of you are going to, be asking questions. My email box is going to light up with questions with regard to the Russian debt default, whether or not it really happened, what it means. Don't worry about it, okay? Just realize what's happening. We have a managed market here in the United States, around the world, Europe. This is central banks action. You know that. Nothing makes sense anymore because of that reason. There is no free market whatsoever, not even the slightest resemblance of it. We do not have a free market economy at all. And we're just sitting here experiencing a side effect, literally a side effect, as to what central banks are doing. And they're not done. They're not done. Just be ready for the new economic model, crisis, create this crisis, make people panic, get them to throw cash at it so central banks can again get a blank check to pull cash out of the future. The biggest thing, really, honestly, that is not explained to anyone from our politicians, retard presidents, or anybody else, any president, the last one wouldn't tell you this either. I'm talking about Trump, is none of these guys are going to allow you to understand that the nature of the debt-based economic model, that's what we have, is relentless debt creation, pulling it from the future, and it cannot stop. It has to keep expanding and expanding and expanding and growing and growing and growing. The moment we stop doing that, the entire system implodes. Absolutely here. Henceforth, you witness what happened in the debt market. 10-year yield, bang, 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 bang. Debt market started to sell off. Pressure on the stock market. They won't allow it to happen yet. You know why? Because they're not done. This is something I've been explaining to you since time immemorial. This is a game. Nothing is what it seems to be. Once you understand that, you're going to be a lot better off. But I want you to have the high ground. I want you to understand what's happening to you and what you can do about it. I really believe that people need to start prepping a little bit. Have some non-perishable items around. I really sincerely believe they're going to starve people. That's going to be the next major crisis, a global hunger issue, and the outcry is going to be enormous. What better way to issue in a completely new system than to have people on their knees starving, begging for help from the same entities that have brought this upon them? Imagine that. Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to play out. And I would believe that you feel the same way, and I want to hear from you. All right, people, that's something I want to say. I love the comments. I'm getting so many comments here lately. I asked you to comment, and you do. And I've been reading all the comments as well. One more thing with regard to the comments, they're not showing up right away. I don't know how many of you are seeing that. If you post a comment, it takes a while for them to show up. YouTube was doing this a while back. It seems like they're back into, I don't know if it's an algorithm issue. I don't understand what it is. But if you put a comment, sometimes, and I'm not saying it's every time, but sometimes the comments take a few hours to show up. If you're seeing that, I actually want to hear from you. Are you one of these people that are putting a comment and it's not showing up for a while? If that's happening to you, please say, hey, Greg, yes, that's happening to me. I just want to get an understanding as to what's going on here. All right, people, with that said, I'm going to end this video blog. I think it's been important. If you agree, please give me a thumbs up. Please share the video. Get it out there. And again, please comment. I will see all of you at the end of the day. I'm looking forward to it. Bye-bye.